Yesterday, the Queensland Treasurer Cameron Dick revealed that Queensland's debt levels will blow out to more than $100 billion by mid-next year. But of course, all the focus still seems to be on the Queensland borders. Anastasia Palaszczuk clearly taking the hardline approach, something which obviously she sees as being a vote winner, and the opposition seems to agree, with Deb Frecklington saying we need strong border controls. Joining me now, National Senator Matt Canavan. Great to see you tonight, Matt. Do you agree with former Senator Graham Richardson there that most Queenslanders don't really care about a ballooning debt?
I do have a different perspective here. I think Richo was right to say that the issue of debt had receded in people's minds in recent years as the economy was going, the national economy was going pretty well. But I think you've seen in the last few months some waking up to the fact that all levels of government are putting on a lot of debt. As you say, the Queensland government ballooning through $100 billion of debt for the first time, and at the Commonwealth government level, of course, we've spent an enormous amount of money supporting people in their jobs through JobKeeper and what have you. And so there will be, I think, a turning to thinking about, well, what do we need next? What do we need next? When you think about what the Labor government has had to do the last few months here in Queensland, you know, what they were asked to do was sort of shut down businesses, lock down, so we deal with the pandemic. If there's one thing I'd give the Labor Party credit for, Peter, if there's one thing I think the Labor Party is good at, it is shutting down businesses. They're good at that, and they've done a pretty good job doing that. But I think people understand that post that next year and the years beyond, we'll need to open businesses up again. We'll need to manage our finances much more carefully given the debt that's there. And that's where I think the Liberal National Party will do better in a couple of months' time than some people think.
It was interesting that Treasurer Cameron Dick did not rule out any new taxes, and we saw last year, last election, Jackie Trad, when they were re-elected in 2017, she imposed 5 new taxes within a month of being re-elected. Do you think it's inevitable that the Labor government, if re-elected on October 31, will reintroduce some taxes?
Well, new taxes from a Labor government is just the other side of the coin. The Labor Party always spends more money. They always spend a lot of your money, your viewers' money. That's what they're addicted to doing. And eventually, you're going to have to raise taxes to do that. I mean, I'll give Bill Shorten credit. At least he was up front with people ahead of the last election. He did say he was going to put $300 billion of more taxes in place to fund their spending programs. Normally, they try and keep it hidden before an election, and that's probably what this government will do. But they no doubt, if you elect Labor, they'll spend more money, and that will mean you'll be paying more taxes at the end of the day. That's the choice. And as I say, I think what we need right now is to open up business. We need to kickstart our economy, and to do that, we should be lowering taxes and creating jobs.
Matt Canavan, it's very clear that Anastasia Palaszczuk and the Labor headquarters are making this an election, or they're hoping to make an election as a referendum on COVID and the way that they've handled COVID. And a very wise man said to me today, Peter, it comes back to the pain index. If you're in pain at the moment, that's small business, tourism, people who can't get into the state through border restrictions, you're not going to vote for the Labor Party. But if you're on JobKeeper and you're getting $750 a week and you're a public servant and your job is secure, and he said it comes down to mathematics. He says there's more people not in pain in Queensland at the moment than there are in pain, and that's why the Labor Party will be re-elected. Do you buy the pain index?
Well, on that topic, we here in Queensland have the highest unemployment rate in the country. Now, we had the highest unemployment rate before COVID. It is higher now due to COVID, but we already had the highest in the country, and now it's nearing on 9%. So there are a lot of Queenslanders that are doing it tough and have been doing it tough for some time. We're suffering under enormous increases in the cost of living, in energy prices. Here in regional Queensland, we don't have proper competition. The LNP wants to change that to bring down the cost of living for people in country and regional parts of Queensland. Those are the things that I think will be predominant at the election. And of course, you've got the crime issue up here as well. Crime's been out of control.
The big issue.
And seemingly something the Labor government just cannot get a handle on and will not. I mean, we saw a few months ago they actually passed legislation to provide offenders with a default no bail option in courts. Bail option. The default was bail to be granted and have to be given by judges. That's the exact wrong approach to try and tackle crime. We've continued to see it balloon.
Sure. Good to see you tonight, Matt Canavan. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciated.
No worries, Peter. Have a good evening.